mean, I thought about how some of the things in my life turned out. And one of the things that I want to say is, here, let me put my phone up somewhere so that way I ain't got to hold it. Hold on, just give me a minute. Let me put this up somewhere so I ain't got to hold it. There we go. But one of the things that I wanted to say is, man, that's a bad angle. Hold on a second. That's a bad angle. That ain't gonna work. All right, here we go. All right, so one of the things that I want to say is that only God's plan in my life works. Only His plan work out for me in my life. Nothing else. Like when I tell people that I can't do nothing for myself, I really mean it. See, a lot of people are used to men who, and I get this. Like I totally get it. Like to some extent, this is how I am. But overall, I'm not. You know, and I know that I'm not because I remember when I used to be that way, and then things changed in my life. It sounds so manly and the status quo, you know, to be the man who just goes out and get it for himself. You know, at the end of the day, I do have a lot of traits in me that takes what I need by force. The kingdom of heaven suffers violence, and the violent take it by force. The kingdom of heaven, you got to take it by force. The promised land, they went out and they fought for that promised land. But the Lord said, what? I will go before you. God was there in the future, giving them the victory before they even knew that they had that battle to fight. God is here, going before me to give me the victory, far before I even know that this is going to be a battle in my life. He had a plan around my plans. A lot of the things that I wanted God to do for me in my life, I tried so hard to do them my way. I came up with some slick, clever ways of being able to get what I know I need, and not just what I want, but some of it is stuff you're supposed to have. You know what I'm saying? Like a car and a relationship with your kids and stuff like that, and you pray that God work these things out, and you come up with some slick, clever way to do it. And not only do you come up with a slick, clever way to do it, some of the time you don't even get to do it. It's just a plan you got, and you just, you know, trying to figure out how you gonna do it. In some mysterious way, God does it. You like, wait a minute. So you mean to tell me I done sat up here, I done tried to figure out how I'm gonna come up with enough money to buy a big enough car, cash, that's nicer than the car I got now, that I can actually put passengers in, and somebody give me one? I don't even get to go to work to actually save that money to then even go looking for the car for the price that's suitable for my needs. And God has already gone before me to give me that car. I drove that car before. I borrowed that car a couple times. If I would have known that it was going to be my car, man, stuff like that. Oh, that's a true story too. That's a true story, honestly. I'm not just coming up with a story about that. That's an actual true story. You just sitting there saying to yourself, right before your kids come back in your life, you know, because everybody move away, you don't know where anybody is, things like that. And you know, I don't want to get too deep in that story. It's a lot of variables that go into it, you know. Right before all of that take place, I done went before you. I found you a car big enough to put them all in. A nice enough car to be able to, be reliable for them to get from A to B. And boom, all of that take place. You done prayed about them kids every day, hoping to God he worked things out. Then you sitting around thinking of slick and clever ways to make this happen. And it all happened in due time. God always has a plan. Mosquitoes, man. He's got a plan for them too. I hope they the first to burn when God destroy this place. I hope the mosquitoes burn first. When he come and everything melt like a wax before the flame, I hope the mosquitoes are first to go. But I don't plan to be here when he do it anyway, so it ain't like it's gonna matter to me. But still, I pay back for all the bites I done got. I am wearing bug spray, so it ain't that big a deal. But, and I'm gonna tell you something, man. Like, we got prayer all the way messed up. Prayer does change things, but sometimes the things were gonna happen anyway. Like, you never know. Like, you just don't know. But prayer is an act of faith, right? But prayer might move God to do things sooner. Might, because I don't know. I'm not there in the future to see when a prayer gets answered before it gets answered. I'm not there in the future to see what God is gonna do, whether you prayed about it or not. I don't know. But prayer is your communication with God. When you pray about stuff, man, it's not that prayer changes God's mind or prayer makes God do anything. But what prayer does is prayer can change where you stand when those things happen. Because those things can happen. But God can already release that for you. But you ain't even there. Like, you ain't even present in that position, like, to even be able to take the ball in the way you need to, or at the time you need to. But, like, that's why it's always wise to be out of God-forsaken environments that are usually self-inflicted. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not wise to be consumed with the things of this world too much, worried about pointless matters too much, man, because you could be missing the ball and don't even know it. You could be missing the ball, and I mean, just imagine playing football and you somewhere on your phone scrolling. They throw the ball at you, you got hit in the head with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why I don't consume myself with too many earthly matters. I mean, yeah, like, my hands and feet might do things that are, germane to things of this earth, but my heart about why I do it is not. You know what I'm saying? My heart about why I do what I do is not about things of this earth, but the things that I do is only germane to things of this earth. I mean, but there's no preaching the gospel in heaven, right? But that's something you do here on earth, okay? But there's no making videos sharing the gospel to the people that need to know about it in heaven. But that's something you do here on earth. Like, you see what I'm saying, right? Anybody in heaven, they don't need you to get them the gospel. They probably, they got it already. Like, there's no temple in heaven. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, my hands and feet might do things that look like they pertain to worldly affairs, but my heart about them are not worldly affairs centered. Everything that I want to engage myself in has to have something to do with the kingdom. All of it. I don't want to be entangled with people that don't want to be entangled in the affairs of the kingdom. Because all they're going to do is cause me to lose time, lose track of what my calling in Christ is. Evil communication corrupt good manners. The Bible does not say that it worked the other way around. It is an absolute fact that that's what happens. And when you in the wrong place around the wrong people and you consume with earthly affairs, like your prayer life ain't on track, man, you can miss the ball. Like, you can really miss the ball. And then finally, when you get some time to reflect, you like, wait a minute, I feel so far away from God. And it seemed like all the promises that you know that God has put on your life, they seem so far away. They just seem so far away. Like, how is this ever even gonna happen? How does this happen? I'm all the way over here. I'm so far away from that prophecy God gave me in a dream to where I don't even know how I'm gonna get there. I'm so far away from that calling that I know God has put on my life to where I don't even see how I'm gonna get there. I'm so far away from being consistent in my prayer about the things that I've been trusting God for that I don't even feel right asking. And you grow repentant. Your heart changes. You grow distant from things and people and places and mindsets that you know has gotten you in this mess to begin with. You just grow cold to everything. You just grow cold. It's almost like you begin to die on the inside and can't nobody. I'm like, you ever try to make a dead man blink his eyes? You poking at him. You just poke. Yeah, let me see if I can provoke a response out of him. Let me see if I can say something bad enough to him to see if I can make him act the way I want him to act. But he like, you really don't care about nothing. Nope, I don't care about nothing except what I'm supposed to be doing for the kingdom. And whatever is involved in that, I guess it's involved in that. If going out to get a bite to eat is involved in that, then yes. But all of this other stuff, all of this heart condition stuff, all of this mindset stuff, I don't care nothing about all that, man. Y'all go do what y'all do, man. Oh, I just figured you woulda. Nah, don't figure I woulda nothing. Don't figure I woulda nothing. Because you knew that I was a child of God. Expect me to act like somebody who's willing to take the kingdom by force. I'm not gonna any longer live in half the world and half of in Christ. It's time to take the kingdom by force. Whatever plan God has had on your life, whatever slick and clever plan you thought that you was gonna have to make that happen, I'm here to tell you, God is gonna work that out, and you ain't even gonna get a chance to do that. Some stuff you do gotta work for. You know, you need to buy a building to start a church. Yeah, you might have to go to work. And if somebody give you the building, chances are you gotta work on it. Like, you know what I'm saying? But God is going to work out the stuff you worried about. It's especially the stuff that you know you need to serve His kingdom, and the stuff you know you need to be doing as a child of God. The whole time I'm saying, Lord, now how in the heck am I going to stand before the judgment seat and I don't even know what my kids are up to? I didn't even get enough time to show them the ways of Christ. I didn't even get a chance to lead them to, the things of God. In fact, for all you know, they might think I hate them and I got to stand before judgment like that. Like, I can't do that. Like this is going to have to work out somehow. Somehow. Like, there ain't no way you want me to walk around here serving your kingdom and I don't know what my kids are up to. Like, that's not going to happen. I don't even feel right like that. Everybody, oh, you a Christian, right? Yes, I am. And you want me walking around here claiming your name. And I don't even know if my kids even believe the gospel. I mean, I could understand if they were 18 and made their own choices, but they still young. Like, you want me to talk to everybody else kids but my own? No. See, I don't, like, like, hey, like, sometime, like, see, but that's real relationship kind of communication, right? That's how you would communicate with your brother or your mother or your father or somebody like that. But how come we talk to God like, oh, Heavenly Father in heaven, the book of Corinthians chapter 2, and oh, it's like, wait a minute, man. Talk to him. Be for real. Sit there in his face in truth about what's really on your mind, like about what's really going on. Be for real. You know what I mean? Don't dog him. Don't belittle him. Don't, like, be respectful, but be for real, man. Like, he honors that for real stuff, not all that spooky religious and I decree and all that other nonsense. Man, quit decreeing stuff and just talk to him. Hey, Lord, I thank you for everything you've done for me. I thank you for keeping me alive. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be here, but I'm going to just keep it real with you right now. I don't know how we going to eat, and I don't know how we going to fulfill the things that you want us to do, and we going to starve to death. Lord, look, we need something to eat, like right now. Like right now, like we just need something to eat. Cause like, you want us to do this and we starving. Now I know you gonna do it, but all I'm asking you to do is to just do it soon. Cause like, we ain't got no other way. We ain't got nobody but you. Like, can you please help us? Like, but what somebody would do is, oh, God done led me here to die. It's like, no, see, that's that children of Israel in the wilderness stuff. Oh, does God not care if we die? It's like, no, that's not the point. He wants you to talk to him. He's putting opportunities in your face to choose life or death. Do you choose faith or unbelief? It is an act of belief to say, God, look, I know you did not have us come all the way out here to fulfill a mission and you not give us something to eat, right? Now, I know that in order for us to fulfill what you want us to do, you're going to feed us, right? All I'm asking you to do is just make sure we got what we need to do what you want us to do. When you do it, that's on you, but I know you better than that. I know for a fact you're going to give us away. All I'm asking you to do is just give us away. That's it. Like, we ain't got no other option. We can't go back to Egypt. I don't even want to go back to Egypt. Like, my life was hell in Egypt. I could open the fridge and eat whatever I want in Egypt. But I'm all the way out here, God. I'm stranded in a state that I don't live in. My car is on its last lick of gas. And Lord, like, I ain't got nobody to help me out right now. You my last hope. You my last hope. Please help me. Hey, like, I'll do it. See, I was talking to a Muslim yesterday, right? And like, he was sharing his beliefs with me and everything, and I was telling him why I believe in Jesus Christ and everything. Like, I ain't want to start debating Bible scriptures and like, and debating denominations and churches and all that. I went straight to the point. The elementary things of the gospel. I believe the gospel wholeheartedly. Nobody preached it to me. Like, when I was sitting there, all of a sudden, my heart became consumed with, you need to receive the gospel or you're going to perish. I chose the gospel. I became a new person. Literally. I didn't pick a church. I didn't pick up a book. In fact, I ain't even start reading the Bible until a whole year after I received the gospel. I mean, yeah, I looked at scriptures here and there, but I ain't like dig into it like for a whole year after I received the gospel. So it wasn't because I picked up a book. It was because the Spirit of God was actually alive and present. You know what I'm saying? And no other religion offers that. None. I went straight to the point. But that ended all the talking, all the look at this page and look at that page and all of that. No. I ain't about to be caught dead doing that, man. I mean, to some extent, you do gotta resort back to what the Bible say, but I ain't finna do it. I ain't about to have a religious book debate with nobody. And it wasn't a debate. It was a peaceful conversation. He was a cool guy. You know, I respect him a whole lot. I mean, he out there at the store just, heck, reading this Quran. And everybody that walked by, I'm like, you know what? I like you. I like you. I'm like, I like you, man. Like, I do. Like, if you ever need something, bro, just ask me, man. Like, you my kind of guy. It's just, I ain't a Muslim. Like, that's it. Like, you know what I'm saying? But man, I kind of lost track of what I was getting ready to say. But man, but I was out there talking to him, man, and like, I just went straight to the point with it. I'm like, man, this is just the way it is, man. Like, I received the gospel. I received the Holy Ghost after I asked, and I was a new creation. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm so mad I didn't lost track of what I was saying because I got so consumed with that memory. You know, but maybe that's what I was meant to say. Like, maybe that's what I was meant to say. Sorry, I do that sometimes because I get so passionate about what I'm saying. And it's like, so what was you about to say before that? It's like, hey, that happens, bro. I ain't even gonna lie to you, man. But that happens. But the fact of the matter is, I was at the right place at the right time. I was at the right place. A guy asked me to help him out with some work. I stayed there a half hour too long. I was kind of mad that I stayed a half hour too long because I looked up, it was 2:30 in the morning. I couldn't get nothing to eat. I'm like, oh Lord, I need something to eat now. I go to the gas station. I'm like, all right, all I got is gas station food, so be it. And I ran into that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just ran there. Like, I'm like, what if I wasn't at the right place at the right time? It's like God always go before you to do stuff that he wants you to do. And sometime it might involve you accidentally being somewhere too late and you miss a car accident by 30 minutes. You know, like, it might involve you not having the money to buy this right now, and it's on recall. A lot of people done died from it and all this other stuff. Like, I mean, you never know, man. Like, you never know, man. Like, you got to trust God with everything, for real. Like, trust God with everything. Just talk to him. Oh, I know what I was getting ready to say. He was like, man, so you know the Almighty has a sense of humor, right? I said, you know what? He sure do. God really does have a sense of humor. But you would never understand that sense of humor unless you have a relationship with him. Now, I don't know about, you know, like, why he say that. I don't understand. Like, maybe somebody must have told him that, and that's just what he, like, I don't know. But all I know is that I know that personally from actually having a relationship with him. When I was sitting there saying, yeah, I'll do it. Like, he can act like that in a lot of situations. Sometimes, like, he even have a sense of humor about stuff that he mad at you about. Like, you know what I mean? Like he's got a sense of humor, but you would never know those kind of things outside of relationship. You won't know that in religion. You will only know that in relationship. See, now he could probably think that God has a sense of humor. And that's just what he said. I don't know how he knows that. Maybe God got his hand on him and that's just like what he's in right now. I was in stuff before too that was outside of the will of Jesus Christ, and God had his hand on me, you know, because he knew from the foundation of the earth I was going to save Corey, because Corey was going to accept the gospel. Like from the days of Adam and Eve, he knew Corey was going to be here to accept the gospel. You know, he knew that already. He found me on a park bench right where I was. I'm sitting on the park bench now. It's not that park bench, but I'm sitting here now. He found me right where I was. In fact, he was already there. I just ain't got there yet. Out of all the times I done smoked cigarettes on that park bench, out of all the times I done took girlfriends to that park bench and talked about stuff I shouldn't have, and out of all the times I done, a caterpillar was just crawling on me. That's a beautiful little thing, no? But it was crawling on me though, for real. Just, hey, it scared the mess out of me. Out of all the things I've done on that park bench, and God was just sitting there waiting on me, like, I'm about to save you right here. Out of all the sin you committed over here, I'm going to save you right here. But now you done committed so much sin here, this is going to be the place to save you. I mean, this is going to be the place you get saved at. Like, that's a sense of humor if you ask me. Out of all the things you done against God, that's going to be the thing that leads you to him. He like, you trusted in all of that failed you, and I'm sitting right here. I'm waiting on you. Now, you didn't believe life was about this and life was about that, and the more you didn't cling to that and try to control all possible outcomes, and it fails you every time. But when are you just gonna come to me and live life based on what I tell you it is? When? Well, you still missing the point. I guess you got to go right back around that circle. I'll meet you there. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, man, but like a lot of times we don't understand that God is a personal being. Like, he's not a force. He's not so far away to where you can't communicate with him. Like, he ain't so far off from what you going through to where he can't meet you where you are right now. Like, yeah, you got problems you don't even know how you gonna sort out. And God is like, oh, I already sorted that out. Oh yeah, I already sorted that out. Like, you might be in a state in your life right now where if you died today, you'd surely go to hell. If you died right now. And God is like, nah, you gonna go to heaven. Now, I bet you go to heaven. See, you don't see what tomorrow look like. Heck, I was in tomorrow 1,000 years ago. 1,000 years ago, I was already in what you call tomorrow. In fact, I was in your tomorrow before Adam was here. I mean, just think about that. But you praying about it is an act of faith. God rewards those who diligently seek him. Imagine he solved your problem, but he gave you the bare minimum because you didn't diligently seek him. And imagine he solved your problem and he gave you his absolute best. I mean, either way, your problem gets solved. But he could either give you the bare minimum or his absolute best for you because you trusted him. See, people that don't trust me, people that always complain about what I do, no matter what I do, I usually get them the bare minimum. I solve your problem, but I ain't going over like above and beyond. Like, I ain't doing extra, because it don't matter what I do, you always got a problem with it. Well, man, you couldn't have stayed out and hung out for 5 minutes. I stay and hang out for 5 minutes. Dang, you couldn't have stayed for a couple of hours. I stayed for a couple of hours. You could have stayed the night. All right, I stayed the night. Dang, you're not gonna move in? It's like, bruh, see, like those kind of people, like they got to get used to coming. I'm like, they got to get to the end of themselves. Like, they got to come to the end of themselves. If you don't trust God, if everything he do for you, you always got some, Man, I'm so mad it had to work out like this. Well, be glad it worked out. Dang. I guess it just won't work out next time then. If you so mad it had to work out like this, maybe you was better off without it working out. See, like, don't think God don't feel stuff like that. He do. I mean, he work out your problem. He give you the bare minimum. Be thankful. Be thankful he did it. Be so happy that he did it. Like you in the desert, dang near dehydrating, and you stumble like across a cup of water. Don't say, dang, he could have gave me a gallon. No. Be thankful about that cup of water. Because that single act of thankfulness is why he's going to give you, is why he's going to lead you to a lake next time. You know what I'm saying? Like, God got a sense of humor. Like, he knows who is worth doing extra for. You know what I'm saying? Yes, everybody is worth him doing extra for, but is his extra gonna matter to you? If his extra is not gonna matter to you, then why do anything? If his bare minimum don't matter to you, if it's always a problem no matter what he do, why do any of it? I mean, you're gonna have a problem either way. Heck, I'd rather save my time and you still have a problem than to spend my time and you still have just as big of a problem. Like, don't think God don't think about stuff like that. If I do, and I'm a man with a small mind compared to God, don't think he don't think like that either. His plan, if that is his plan for your life, and I know I'm talking to somebody. In fact, I do know I'm talking to somebody, but I know I'm talking to somebody else who need to hear this. Like, I'm always talking to somebody. Like, I mean, God don't lead me to say this for nothing. Like, I ain't just talking to myself now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know I'm talking to somebody. Like, I guarantee you I am. Like, whether it be two people, that's good enough. I mean, all heaven rejoice when one sinner repents. That's just one. There's 8 billion people on this planet. Heck, most people don't even throw a house party when you repent. But all heaven rejoice over that? Come on, man. That's a big deal. It's worth me having one person to talk to. And that one person I'm going to talk to, that's going to be the only person that matter right now. The only 5 people watch my video, y'all all that matter right now. If you don't see it, you probably just didn't need it. You know what I'm saying? But you right here who watching this right now, you need this. It's going to be something in your life that happens. I guarantee you that you can only trust God to work out. You can only trust him to work out. You can't come up with a slick enough plan. Like, bruh. Like, your only other way to do it is to probably do something sinful, and you don't want to do that either, right? So you can only trust God to work out. Your time in prayer is an act of faith. That's the difference between him solving your problem with the bare minimum or him giving you extra. Extra. Think about the children of Israel in the wilderness. But when they all complained and had lack of faith in God and said all this stuff they shouldn't have said, and he gave them extra, they still had a problem. He can't give you extra for you to not have a problem to save your life if you don't just trust him. Just trust. I'm like that with people. I am. Like, hey, like, just trust the fact that I do what I say I do. Now, the way you respond over how I do what I say I do and when I do it and what I do, that's going to be the difference between me doing extra next time. You know what I'm saying? God thinks like that. God does think like that. I got kids, right? One of my kids might be thankful for that one popsicle. The other one, all we get is one. The one that was thankful, you can get another one. The one that's mad at all you get is one. Heck, you can give me the one you do have. Heck, even what you think you got, you can give it to me. If you mad at just getting one, you don't need one at all. You know, you seemed a little happier when you wanted one, and now you mad that you do got one. Heck, I guess you could just give it to me. See, you need to take the time to train your kids on the ways that God works with you. If you don't do that, that's why kids need fathers. That was my whole point. I'm like, Lord, out of all the things that I learned from you, I need to be able to tell them. I need to be able to raise them like you raised me. Because when they grow up and it's time for them to choose life or death, and choose life and have it more abundantly, I need them to be able to relate to you. And I deal with all of my children the way God has dealt with me. That's all I know. I don't know nothing else. That's all I know. That's all I got. You know, I didn't have my father in my life full time. All I know is as an example of a father, like as far as how I deal with my children as like that perfect example is God. And that's a good, perfect example to have. Like, even if I had my father in my life full time, I would still rather learn from the Father, God. You know, like, my father ain't do nothing wrong. I ain't trying to say nothing bad. Like, I mean, like, that ain't the way it is. All I'm saying is, most of how I deal with people comes from who has dealt with me first, as far as that example of how to do it. All I know how to do is deal with my kids like that. Now sometimes it might just be me. You know what I mean? Sometimes I'm irritated and frustrated and don't want to talk too much, and you know, I might get a little mad, and it might not even be that big a deal and stuff like you know, it's always gonna be some flesh somewhere. But as far as overall how I deal, if I had two kids sitting in front of me and they both wanted a popsicle, and I gave them both one, thank you, Daddy. Another one, oh, all we get is one. Okay, so the one who's mad at all they got is one, give it to the one who is thankful for their one. I mean, think about the parable of the talents. The one who made the best use of their talents, he was given the talents that the person who buried their talents had. Yeah, I give you one talent. Oh yeah, I ain't gonna do nothing with that one talent. Man, he lost even what he thought he had. Even what he thought he had, he lost. All because it's just one talent. Like, I'm gonna do it one time. Oh, okay. Well, you can go to hell and give your one talent to the one that had 10 and made 10 times as much with that 10 talents. I trust him with more because he had more and did with it. I gave you just enough because I knew you wasn't thankful anyway. Don't think that's in the Bible. See, I was just saying that. I was just saying that. That's how God deal with people based on my relationship with him. Then that scripture hit me and I'm like, you know what, he is like that for real. Like, he already knew they was lazy. He already knew that they wasn't a thankful person. He gave them the bare minimum. But they got the bare minimum. It's just the bare minimum. What am I going to do with that? Bury it. He come back. He requires a return on his investment. Okay? But now I made an investment into you, one talent. What you do with it? Oh, you know, I just figured you're a man who reap what you don't sow. And, oh, okay, well, let your own words be your judge then. Like he had a problem with the one talent he got, and he ain't even deserved the one talent he got. Didn't even deserve it anyway. Like, he just gave it to him just to say, at least I tried to trust you. At least I gave you something, but I knew you wasn't gonna do nothing with it. That's why I ain't waste 10 on you. And everybody, God work out your problem. And oh man, this car stinks. Oh, I wish it wasn't scratched. And it could have had better rims on it. And 2,000 miles. Yeah, I think about that next time you need a car. I'll make sure you get a bike next time. How about that? A pedal bike, not a motorcycle. I mean, it could have been something better than this. It's like, this is a blessing. Man, people are like that, man. And that's the reason why either A, God don't do what a lot of people want. See, God do what you want when he know you thankful for everything else he did. When he know that you done well with everything else he gave you. I mean, here it is, he gave you this and you treated it well. You're like, God, you know what, I ain't gonna lie to you. But like, let's just say God gave you, let's say he gave you a phone, right? Like, let's say you struggle without a phone for a month, right? And then somebody gave you a phone. Like, it was like a basic Android phone, like one of the free phones you get from Metro PCS. And somebody gave it to you. They say, I pay your first month bill. You like, oh, I thank you so much. You put the best SD card in that phone. Man, you made sure you ain't dropped that phone. Man, you watched out for who you let use your phone. You like, this is my phone. I struggle without a phone. I'm gonna treat this phone like it's gold, because it's my phone. Like it was a blessing. And God gonna look at you, he gonna be like, you know what? I like that. And then, you realize the phone kind of slow. You can't listen to music and GPS your location at the same time. And you pray, you like, God, hey, I thank you for this phone I got, because I struggled real bad without one. But, like, I really need to find a way to get a better phone. I mean, like, your finances ain't all that great, so it ain't like you could just go buy one. I mean, your credit ain't all that good, so it ain't like you could just go and, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Lord, I need to find a way to get a little bit better phone. I want to listen to my Bible studies and get back and forth to my job sites and all that kind of stuff at the same time. And, like, it's just a little laggy when I'm trying to, but I am glad I got one, though, because I know how it was without one. You're like, okay. And next month later, before you can even pay your second month bill, hey man, somebody looking for an iPhone, like, what's the new iPhone, 15? Hey, somebody looking for an iPhone 14, man, $50, man, $50, iPhone 14, I just need $50. You like, wait, I got $50. You like, you like, dang, that's a huge upgrade for $50. You know what I'm saying? And heck, man, like, hey, like, it worked like that sometime. Like, God heard you. He made sure you got hooked up the next time around, because, like, you took care of what it is that he gave you. Like, you were thankful for it. Like, you ain't find problems with it and sit around and nag and complain and, yeah. Like, all that other stuff, man. That stuff is, like, that stuff stinks. That stuff make God want to back off of you. Like, no. But now just imagine if you would have got that free phone. Let's go back to the first topic. Got that free phone and you realize, oh man, this is a cheap phone. I mean, man, I'm used to having something better than this. Man, I ain't gonna be able to do nothing. This camera ain't that good. And God is listening to you. After all you went through without a phone, you finally get one and you complaining about the camera? Get a camera then. Phones ain't meant for cameras. Get a camera. Like, if you want a camera, go get you a camera. Like, for real. Like, you got something to talk on. You got somebody to, heck, like, you got to wait for people to hit your line. Like, be happy about that. And say, oh, man, it's just slow. I knew this phone was going to be slow. Yeah. Man, I need something better than this. Nah, man. Nah. Nah, man. Nah. But God solved your problem, though. He solved your problem. And let's just say, after all that who and you done did, you're like, oh God, I need me a better phone than this. This one ain't gonna cut it. You're like, all right, I'll make sure you get a better phone. And here we go, the same situation. You know, somebody looking for an iPhone 14 right now, man. $50, $50. You're like, yeah, you gave him the $50, stolen. It was a stolen phone, a reported stolen phone. You done lost $50. But hey, he made sure you got a better phone, though. You know, see, God, it's like, don't think his sense of humor ain't like that. Like, he will let you know when he's disapproved of how you are. Well, I mean, your problem was you needed a better phone. I mean, the best you can do is use it for hotspot. You know, put some hotspot on it from your cheap phone, and then you listen to your YouTube for, from that one. It's got a better camera, though. You just can't turn it on. Like, you just can't activate it. Solved your problem, but you got the bare minimum. At least you got a better camera now. At least it ain't laggy on YouTube because it ain't enough RAM. But you can still hotspot from your cheap phone and, you know, and use that like your main line. You know what I'm saying? But it's a difference, man. Like, it's a big difference, y'all. Like, I didn't even know I was gonna get to these topics when I made this video. Something just told me to start talking about this. I'm talking to somebody, y'all. Like, we at the end of the world. The blessings of God is coming down quickly, and the judgment is too. Everything is coming quickly. Earthquakes quickly, war quickly, economic collapse quickly, civil war quickly, nuclear war quickly, blessings quickly, judgment quickly. I'm telling y'all the truth, man. It is the right time to make sure your heart is right, because whatever promise God put on your life is coming quickly. It is. And that's only if you ain't forsook it. Like, that's only if you ain't choose to walk away from it. Because God can make you a promise and you can still say you don't want it. But, like, you know, like, and them be the people, God, I thought you promised me this and you promised me that, but didn't you say you didn't want me? You said you didn't want me. How you gonna not want me but take my promise? You know, how you gonna say you don't want to do all this Christian stuff no more because you ain't signed up for this persecution, and you done went to the Roman Catholic Church and did this and did that, but yet you still expecting God's promises on your life? A lot of people are going to fall away and believe the Antichrist, because why? He's going to be the only God left who's going to support the prosperity gospel. In fact, that's where it come from, the devil. You want true prosperity? You need to seek God, Jesus Christ, and him alone. He says, seek first the kingdom of God, and all these things be added unto you. Y'all seek the things and not the kingdom. And then when you don't get the things, you over here mad at God. Like, you mad at somebody you don't even talk to, unless it's about the stuff. I mean, you don't ask him nothing. Like, bro, like, you don't even know what your calling is in life. Like, you don't even know if you saved for real. All you know is, God, I want. God, I want. God, I want. I want. I wish I had. Had what? To do what? Sit around and pay attention to all these worldly things? I mean, that reminds me of one of the books of the prophets when they were like, this is the house of the Lord, the house of the Lord, the house of the Lord. What, to do all these detestable things in? Oh, God, I want to be blessed with this. God, I want to be blessed with a new car. Why? To listen to Nicki Minaj in it? Oh, God, I want to be blessed with a new house. Why? So you can curse people out on the phone in it? Like, people wonder why God ain't quick to move on behalf of them being happy. Like, people wonder why God let the stuff they trust in so much fall apart on them. At least He's trying to get your attention. Heck, some people He don't pay no mind to because they don't want Him no way. Hey, be glad when He keep on sending you through the same old circle to learn your lesson. Be happy He care enough about you to get you to pay attention. Hey, that's a key sign right there that He's offering you salvation. Be happy with that. Hey, you could be damned. You know what I'm saying? Be happy with that. If everything that you keep on trying to put your trust in life keep failing you, God is trying to get your attention. Focus on the kingdom and the king, not the stuff. He's trying to offer you a way out of suffering judgment in this world and in eternity. And you mad at Him over how the stuff turned out? Forget the stuff. Get to heaven. Screw all of it. Man, so many of the prosperity gospel Christians is going to walk away from Christ because they didn't sign up for all this. All of what? You'll see in just a minute. There's going to be a lot of stuff people trusted in and somehow clinged to God too. But that's going to turn around and fail them. A lot of persecution going to be coming and knocking at their door. Deny Christ or die. A lot of people is going to start ganging up against Christians. You know, everybody that gang up against you, really God letting them gang up because they being bundled to be burned. You know, you bundle the weeds and burn them up all in all in one bundle. Look, don't be afraid of anybody ganging up on you. God is letting them be bundled, but for a reason. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, that ain't nothing to fear. I mean, you're going to hear the music being antichrist, the movies being antichrist. It's going to start making you feel funny about calling yourself a Christian because you really wasn't one. You just wanted to be blessed. Like, I mean, you didn't want a relationship with God. You didn't want spiritual gifts. You didn't want to serve His kingdom unless serving His kingdom meant being blessed. Like, some people think that is serving His kingdom, is being blessed. Man, people got the name of the Son of God attached to a lot of stuff that's about to be shaken. Everything that can be shaken will be shaken. And whatever you standing on, if that's being shaken, that means get off the boat and go get on the only one that ain't shaken. Heck, people like me who everybody ridiculed and called a false prophet and all that other stuff. Heck, man, you might want to be like me, man. You might want to be, don't be like me at all, but still, like, I mean, you might really want to double think, like the train you own right now. All the mega churches falling apart is all being shaken. Households being shaken. It wasn't meant to stay together. I didn't put them two together. People losing jobs, I ain't want you there anyway. Like, you wasting too much time and your calling is slipping right out of your hands. Leave the job. Forsake earthly goods and save your soul. Forsake earthly things and save your soul. That goes for anything. Anything. But hey, I ain't gonna talk to y'all for too much longer. I got to get ready and go. I just wanted to make sure that I dropped this jewel on y'all, man. But I pray that y'all learned something today. And you might have to watch this video again. I said a whole lot. I'm going to watch this about 2-3 times before I post it on the internet. So y'all have a good day. Heck, it might even be tomorrow once y'all see this up. But still, man, y'all have a good one. Peace.